our special focus at this hour? Well, there's a new normal, and that is hybrid working. What exactly is hybrid working? It's a combination of remote working and work from home and in-person working. So it's a combination of those models, something that's been ushered in by the COVID pandemic, and the fallout of which is being felt, and how there's been a 2x surge as far as the demand for hybrid jobs is concerned when compared to the same time last year. What makes it so attractive? Well, I'm being joined by very special guests on the broadcast. Sonika Aaron, founder and managing partner of Marching Sheep, is with us. Also on the panel, Karthik Sridharan, co-founder and CEO at Flexible and also an expert on HR tech. Karthik Sridharan, first to you, since you're smiling, and of course it's something that's being debated, very passionately by potential employers and employees. What makes it so attractive? Why do you think there's been such a surge as far as the demand for hybrid jobs is concerned?
Yeah, so when we started about 6 years ago, I think remote working was much bigger in the US than in India. But as we moved on and COVID came in place, I think people became a lot more comfortable with remote working because they actually experienced it. And companies now see that not as a compromise, but they see that as an advantage in the market, especially in the field of software engineering, where the salaries are super high. It becomes another weapon, so to say, for you to be able to fight in the hiring market. And if not fully remote, hybrid is a model which allows you to make the best of both worlds, which is to ensure you can have some amount of bond between team members while still allowing them the flexibility to be able to have some other priorities, some other things that they might
having the best of both worlds. That's a nice way of putting it. And let me take this to Sonika Aaron, because as a woman, there's this long drawn debate triggered by Indra Nui, what she said a couple of years back, saying that women can't have it all, they can't juggle work and home sort of as seamlessly as many of these studies would make us believe. What do you think, as a woman, do you think hybrid working is an attractive option?
Actually, I would not put it as a gender issue at all.
Okay.
Today, I think irrespective of whether, you are a man, woman, or any other gender, people have priorities, and today's workforce is looking at a very balanced way of working. So, when COVID happened, the first change, and in India particularly, Karthik spoke about how it was in the US, but let's talk about India. In India, remote working or hybrid working was seen as a perk.
Yes.
In most organizations. But it took the organizations a lot of effort to make remote working a way of life. And when the pandemic came to an end, it took the organizations and employees a lot of effort to start coming back to office, and they realized that they were losing a lot of productive time commuting and so on and so forth. And
productivity seems to be at the center of this debate, and I'm glad you said that it doesn't matter what gender you come from. It's an employee-employer thing. But Karthik, come in on the point of productivity, because there's a study also that points out that employees believe that hybrid working increases overall productivity. Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. I think each individual has their own setup where they are most productive. I don't think we can make a solid argument that only remote working is good or only in office is good. I think that's where I said that hybrid working gives you a best of both worlds. But I think what it allows you to do is, as Sonika as well said, it allows people to have a balance of various priorities that they have in their life. And when people have a balance across their entire sphere of life,
you made that point, but talk to me as an employer yourself. Talk to me as an employer, because you're a CEO. So would you encourage hybrid working in your organization?
We are a hybrid setup ourselves, actually. So we have a core team in Bangalore. We have an office here. We have employees all across the country as well. And some of them have certain personal obligations because of which they are not able to move into office. Some of them prefer and are more productive that way. They have other, endeavors in life. They like to travel. They like to do all of that stuff as well. So I think being in office allows us to collaborate better. And we do have occasional sessions where everyone comes to office, but we also allow people to enjoy and also prioritize other parts of their life.
Which in turn makes them more productive and come back to work sort of energized. That's an interesting point there. But Sonika Aaron, what about sustainability? Do you think the hybrid working model has implications on sustainability as well? Does it make businesses more sustainable?
So, of course, there's a lower carbon footprint, right? When you are traveling less, you're using office premises less. So there is a sustainability in that sense. If you are looking at sustainability from an employer's sustainability, right, in terms of productivity, in terms of continuity of business and so on and so forth, I would talk about the culture that you are setting in the organization and the managerial capability and the trust that we build in the organization, because it does require a lot of trust, collaboration, like Karthik said, that, we are able to collaborate better when we are in office. How about also being able to collaborate when we are working remotely or on the days that we are working from home? So, yes, it is sustainable. I have been working in a hybrid model in my organization for the last 10 years.
Right. Karthik, you seem to be disagreeing on that point of sustainability.
No, I'm not disagreeing, to be honest. I think it is sustainable if you're talking about it from a profitability, from a business model perspective. Remote working, definitely, you don't have office costs. You don't have to have a huge office space. You save a lot on that. But I think looking at it only from an expense perspective isn't right. I think looking at it, because in that perspective, you're not looking at the revenue advantage you can get from a productivity boost.
Absolutely.
You're not also looking at it from a perspective of getting a much larger pool of talent globally.
So you have to look at it, from a comprehensive perspective is what you're saying, and looking at it from, say, a unidimensional lens would not be correct or accurate. Thanks so much to the both of you. Interesting perspectives there, and a very interesting debate. Hybrid working does seem to be the new normal, at least the figures seem to suggest that. Thanks so much for joining us on NDTV.